Hello, in this video I will show you DATAGUARD module. In DATAGUARD module you are able to set policy that will block unauthorized USB devices and many more. DATAGUARD, similar to users module, is configured based on all users, groups or individual users in the system. To set and configure DATAGUARD, we have to right-click on all users and then go to Atlas Info. In this example, I will be creating policy for all users, so it will be applied for all users in my organization. And right now, I will show you the first policy that we'll set in DATAGUARD. This policy will block other USB storage devices. Other can also mean unauthorized or unknown devices to your organization. And the question is, how to block a device that the user, once again. And the question is, how to block a device that the user found somewhere, or someone gave malicious USB devices to a user and now user is trying to connect it to a computer. How to block such threat? To do that, we have to set a rule for so-called other USB storage devices. Here, as you can see, everything is marked as disabled. So we disabled audit, read, write, and ability to execute from such devices. And in this example, right now, every unauthorized and unknown USB storage device for all users in your organization will be automatically blocked. So this rule will block any malicious and potentially dangerous USB device that might affect security of your organization. But this rule, without setting individual privileges, will also block safe and trusted devices. So right now, how to add individual rights to a system? To do that, we have to close that window and go to Manage Device Permissions. In Manage Device Permissions, you are able to easily detect every device that was connected on USB port with serial number. This can be done here in list of all devices that were connected or recently used. So in recently used, you are even able to choose specific time range in which you would like to know what kind of devices were connected to endpoints in your organization and filter it out to specific types of devices. And let's go back here, and as you can see, here we have a USB flash disk with individual serial number, and I will open this device. And right now in this window, as you can see, we have a thing called access rights. So as you can see right now in this list, I'm able to see individual rights that were given to this specific USB devices to those individuals. Keep in mind that access to this USB device is given based on serial number. So we are not blocking whole USB ports, we are blocking individual USB devices. To add individual rights, we have to click this icon here. And here you are able to add rights for different types of objects in the system. First of all, we can add so-called default rights. So in this case, we'll add rights for this USB device to any user, to all users in my organization. The second type of privileges that we can add is to add privileges to a group of users. So in this case, I'm able to add this USB device and allow every user in a chosen group to this USB device. As an example, you can create a rule that will give access to this USB device for any person that is in IT department or in sales department. And the last type of privileges is basically adding privileges to individual users. So in this case, you can attach one USB device to one specific user. So let's close it for now. And as you can see, this USB device has 3 individual rights added to 3 individual people called Anna Kowalska, Jakub Nowak and Mary Smith. So only these 3 people will be allowed to use that USB device in my organization. They will be able to read it, read files from it, write and save files on such device and execute. So they will be able to execute executable files from a perspective of that USB device. And in this case, we enabled audit. So in case of saving, deleting or modifying files, we'll be able to monitor such operations on such device. According to ISO 27002, if you decide to allow USB devices usage in your organization, you should establish policy for securing such devices. And one of the points that ISO highly suggests and recommends if it comes to monitoring USB devices is monitoring operations. Operations like saving or deleting files from such USB devices. If it comes to AXENCE and nVISION, you can easily achieve that and monitoring not only devices that are connected, but also operations that were done on such devices. To check those operations, we have to close this window right now. And we can go and use this icon here called audit. In audit, you will be able to see every device that was connected or disconnected, but you can track file operations. So here we can choose. Here we have network shares. I will talk about it in a minute, but let's go back a little bit to see operations that user were doing on this USB device. So as we can see, I'm able to know that Jakub Nowak was saving, creating or deleting files from this USB device. And those kind of operations can be alerted. So right now, once again, we'll go back to alerts and I will show you how to create alert for detecting such operations. To be automatically informed about file operation on USB devices that are allowed in your organization, you have to go to alerts. And in alerts, we have to create a new event that is related to USB devices. So we have to go here, and here we have DATAGUARD events, and here you will find event related to file operation on a device. So when we click that, we can generate an event in case of creation or deleting files on USB devices. And this event can be generated also in case of using specific masks, and this can be used to filter it out only events that are correlated with saving specific file extensions. So you can create event and be automatically informed because you can connect it with email action or even be informed on your mobile phone with text message. So I showed you how in DATAGUARD create a policy for blocking unauthorized devices, allowing those that you trust, and how to create a rule that will monitor files that are being saved on such devices. Right now we'll move on and I will show you additional features that can help you to analyze what is going on network shares and how to manage settings related to security as such encrypting hard drives on endpoints. So right now I opened a Jakub Nowak account, and from point of individual user account I can go to DATAGUARD tab and see all access rights given to that specific user. But as you can see, we have a couple more tabs, and the first of which is called audited paths. So with this feature, you are able to monitor catalogs that are located on a computer of this user in order to see changes in local catalogs like downloads or desktop. Additionally, you can add network paths, as in this example. So in this example, I added a path that is monitoring catalog that this user has access to. So in this case, I'm monitoring catalog that this user has access to on file server. So after opening that window, I'm able to see every rule that I added to a system, and I can assign and add completely new rule. And in this rule, I can choose network share and put path to specific catalogs on file server or network share in this field. So that is quite useful because let's say that there is an issue that someone deleted some very important and confidential file from file server, and you would like to know which users during that time were doing specific operations on such file servers. And with this feature, you are able to analyze such statistic and you can see such operations in audit view. So let's close that and let's open audit view once again. As you probably remember, I was opening that view when I was showing you USB devices, but once again we can go to file operation, choose specific date, and in this example you will see that Jakub Nowak did those operations on this catalog that is hosted on file server. So I can see every operations that were done from perspective of individual users. I can filter it out and this statistic can be exported to different formats. In my case, I've created and attached that rule to individual person, but the same as it was in USB devices policies, you can attach that rule to all users, all specific groups. At the end, I will show you features that can be found in Security tab that is located in Devices. We have to close it, go to Devices, and here you will find Security tab here. In this list, you will find every endpoint with agent installed on it, and you are able to detect computers and their antivirus software. In case of Windows Defender, you are even able to manage such software. In case of any other antivirus, you will see what kind of antivirus software is installed, or you are able to detect computers without antivirus at all. So you can detect such computers and improve their security by installing antivirus software on them. Secondly, you will see settings for, Secondly, you will see detailed settings for Windows Defender and information about BitLocker, so the status from BitLocker, and you will be able to tell if hard drives on those endpoints are encrypted or decrypted, and you are able to manage settings of Windows firewall. So first of all, I will show you how to manage Windows Defender and Windows Firewall. To do that, we have to go to Tools, and in Tools you have to go to a field called Manage Policies. And in Manage Policies, we can create policy for Windows Defender. So in this case, I'm able to create a policy that will turn on or turn off real-time protection, and I can create antivirus exclusions from that window. And here I'm able to manage Windows Firewall. So here I can change settings of firewall, and I can set additional advanced filtering rules from this policy. And those policies later can be added to a thing called profiles. And this profile is created from different policy, and later this profile can be added to an endpoint. And based on profile that is attached to an endpoint with agent will know what kind of settings agent has to apply in order to protect that endpoint. So lastly, let's talk about BitLocker for a moment, because as you can see, I'm able to analyze which computers are encrypted or decrypted if it comes to BitLocker. But I can go to detailed view of this endpoint, and in Security tab, I'm able to see details of this encryption. So here, I'm able to see what kind of partitions are encrypted, and I can decide to turn off or turn on BitLocker, and this operation will be done remotely. So I don't have to connect with remote access. I don't have to do anything additionally. I can click this one button and encrypt that device with AXENCE nVISION agent. Besides of that, I can backup recovery key. So after clicking that, you can decide to save recovery key to a file or save it as the document in AXENCE nVISION assets, so you can easily encrypt hard drives remotely and backup recovery keys. So that's all for this video. I showed you how to create policy for blocking USB devices, monitor network shares, and configure settings related to security. In the next video, we will talk about helpdesk module. Helpdesk module is a set of tools for remote managing computers and ticketing platform that can use agents to sending tickets and also integrate with email. So see you in the next video.